Oh, okay, good guys, and we printed a piece he did in social policy as well. So he got us all excited about the fact that living wage campaigns seem to be developing in Japan. So we've been waiting for the call since 2009 about what was happening and what was going on and if there was any way we could help. So when Ken got in touch, first I leaned on him for the real story about what community-based groups are doing in recovery in Japan. Partly because we were very fortunate here after Katrina. Some of us, about a year after the storm hit in 2005, and we were able in the sort of December of 2006 to visit in Kobe and Tokyo. Why? Why? Because just like New Orleans, there are parts of Tokyo which, as you know, are 10, 15 feet below sea level. And of course, where you have these super levees that are, you know, football fields wide, we have these little skinny things. So you had the gates, you know, you had the, so we learned tremendous amount and went to Kobe is to see how they had recovered from a similar, but a hurricane, but it was obviously a disaster and an earthquake and many people were killed. And it was encouraging to us because that was 12 years after the Kobe earthquakes. But the population had recovered to the same number, although even though Japan had done so many things better than the United States, you all immediately allocated the money and you put the priority on rebuilding senior housing and low-income housing, none of which happened in the United States. It took almost a year to get the real money here. And you go around the city over the couple of days you're here, you see some of the public housing 7 years later is now just being rebuilt and it's not being replaced. So the United States did exactly the opposite of the right thing. Japan did it, but still what they told us was the population came back, but not surprisingly, when low income and elderly people are displaced, it's almost impossible to get them all back, just because you gotta have a job, you gotta have a school, you know, all the problems that come from, as we know. So we, you know, came out of our visit with Japan, having learned a lot. So our chance to help you all in whatever you're doing and contribute to whatever you're trying to figure out is a payback opportunity for us. So we're just delighted. You want to just go around the room and introduce ourselves, or how?
Yeah. My name is Ken Yamazaki. Firstly, I contributed with Wade about the tsunami and aftermath. And anyway, we are not sure when we are not well. We are not well about the know about the tsunami relief or something, but in Japan, so many NGO now help the people, and also they try to be a kind of good to deal with the recovery. Maybe Mr. Yonezawa knows.
Yeah, we can talk later about the tsunami or whatever. I just introduced it. I know that's not the purpose of our visit today.
Okay. You know, in Japan, so the number of the temp staff or individual workers are growing, and then those workers are not organized, and the union doesn't want to reach to them.
Same problem here in the United States in many ways.
And anyway, so actually we'd like to know, and we'd like to find a good example and good lesson from the United States. We already have been researched about the American new labor organization like worker centers or new labor unions like labor laws or SEA or such kind of unions leads to the immigrant workers or so, or wage workers or so. And vocational training in the field like Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership also, or we visited the cows in Wisconsin, or other APCIU American, Work America, or anyway, almost about 30 organizations we visited in these 2 years, and we learned so many things but we happened to meet with the community organizing owners. Before then, we didn't know about the community organizing models. Of course, we have so many labor economists or industry relations specialists, but nobody knows what's community organizing. And then we just happen to know these movements came to be flourishing since 1990s, I guess. But of course, we know about 1947, Alex Kimadas or so. Anyway, but still, not so many people know what the Alex Q's also. Just in 1970s, Alex Q's works very radicals translated to Japanese, but already gone away. That's the Japanese translation. Just in the library you can find that. Anyway, so just my brief introduction. I've been on for 3 years, from 2003 to 2006, for a Japanese consulate in Detroit. I know what was the New Orleans at that time, and some of my friends evacuated from the New Orleans at that time. Of course, the Japanese or Japanese American soul. And then at that time, I researched about the American unions, how change their attitude to more corporate to the companies, like Japanese unions. I'm not sure that you already know about the Japanese unions. Major unions attitude more corporate to the unions, and then they based on the company, not local or not international basis or not industry basis. But they are still they just struck about that because now company is more global, and the union activities only in the country or in the local. So company nowadays says about we cannot raise their wages because we have to compete with other countries. But the union just compromised to them, and then retreating. And that's now in 10 years since also 2010. Also same as American unions like 1980s and 1990s. Anyway, that's part of my research is history, and then I have kind of opinions like Japanese union or Japanese companies' attitudes kind of influence the American unions, like more corporate to the company also, and then like a bottom-up basis cooperation from the rank and file union members to the companies. That's the Japanese way though anyway. And then ULU dramatically changed their attitudes since 1980s. Anyway, that's my part of the history. And then also same story we followed the United States since almost 2000, just 10 years behind from you. So still low-wage workers, the number is growing, and then they are struggling, and community-based unions also struggling with them. Japanese community unions also, they have kind of leaders, but those leaders is kind of almost upper 60s, meaning they are becoming older and older. And then younger people don't much interest about that. That's another problem. And then would you like to
Okay.
especially from your organization? That's my brief introduction. Not really doing it.
My name is Koshin, and I'm teaching industry relations at major university in Tokyo. And as you know, Japan's labor union is reducing their part of defend rights to cooperate with the company. But there are many organizations other than the labor unions to defend workers' rights in Japan. The organizations are very similar to the worker center here. So, and we started the research to know the real situation of the labor organizations. And we visited so many organizations, and we found that community organizing is play very important role in the United States. We don't have the similar organization in Japan. So we started to make research about the community organizing this year. So we visited here. My name is Kosh.
And of course, I forgot my card. We'll give them to you later. You'll be at our other office, Mr.
May I take the vehicles?
Yeah, and yeah, whatever. And we should say too, we're actually recording some of these conversations too. Yeah. So I guess it's all fair now, because it's such an opportunity for more of our organizers around the world to also benefit from this. So we'll put it on, for our staff in other countries. I'll explain later. So yeah, I'm glad you said. I forgot. I got so excited. I forgot that Big Brother is watching behind your back.
My name is Akira Yamazawa. I'm a graduate student at Tokyo University, and now I'm studying on third sector and organization in Japan. And I'm interested in the working condition or providing job opportunities for people with disabilities or work by organization or workers cooperative. So I'm not good at English speaking and
Doing
so
really well.
so
Wait till you hear our Japanese.
I think about I like to talk Japanese situation, third sector, and non-profit organization, but it's difficult to talk shortly. So I want to talk later.
Excellent. And if I talk too quickly or make it difficult for people to understand, just raise a hand or something. I'll slow it back down. I know how to do that. But Rosa.
Hi, my name is Rosa, and I work for the ULU. We have experience.
Excuse me. You're about to get recorded.
Yeah. Now somebody's back to say something important.
Back in court today.
That's
She
right.
was
Again, my name is Rosa, and I work here at Local 100 Union. We have a lot of
sorry,
experience.
her name is
Rosa
Hines. Hines. Oh, here we go.
ROSA. Yeah, there you go.
And we have a lot of experience in organizing public sector workers and private sector. Currently, we are focusing on private sector organizing workers in respect to their hours, wages, and conditions of employment throughout Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. Is where we're organizing, I should say.
And my name is Dine Butler. I didn't bring a card, but it's D-I-N-E with an accent. And my last name is Butler, B-U-T-L-E-R. And I work for Local 100 as well. I started off working for Acorn, which was a national community organization y'all are familiar with, back around the time of Katrina, doing organizing both with the community side and then also working to organize debris removal workers. So after each house was decimated, they would gut it. Everything would be on the street, so we did a huge campaign to organize those workers, and unfortunately they quit doing debris. They fired all the workers and stopped doing debris removal, and then I came back on as working with Acorn in a whole different model that was around providing services to the large, low to moderate income family base around tax assistance, so doing free taxes for people, and then also helping them gain access to social services like food stamp programs, so that there was a broader model. It wasn't only community organizing, but it was helping people meet basic needs in a different kind of way and get some money back into their pockets. And then I've been working with Local 100 for the past number of years, doing, as she was saying before, a lot of private sector organizing. For me, just in Louisiana, in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, in a more rural community of Lafayette, and we organize, from Rosa's just been focusing, and her big passion is around organizing the sanitation workers. I've been mostly working with workers who take care of developmentally disabled clients. So that's been a focus of ours in Louisiana.
And Walmart, you want to mention yours?
Oh, right. Also, right, you guys are interested in CPAs. So when I was doing my last year of college, I did my field study program in order to write my thesis. I worked for the Walmart Workers Association. Walmart. So for 6 months or so, I worked with a Walmart Workers Association in Tampa, Florida. And then also we had a community-based organizing model, so that it was a two-front strategy, one where you organize the workers around basic issues. One of our basic issues was literally a bike rack. What are people's issues and trying to move around them. And then another was organizing the community to stop Walmart from coming in, and that was a more complicated strategy that involved a lot of research and figuring out how to come up with different, what we call organizing handles, but basic strategies to stop Walmart from coming in, whether it was an environmental basis or, traffic flow or anything we could come up with. And we were really pushing out the CBA in St. Petersburg, Tampa area to stop more Walmarts from coming in. But I'm sure they'll talk about that a lot more in depth.
My name is Toshihiro Ima. I'm working in the Japan Institute for Labor and Professional Training. I and Mr. Yamazaki's co-work. We work in same division, International Affairs Department. It is first time for me to go abroad as my job, as my working. So I feel a little bit nervous, but I want to learn from you a lot of things. The second year.
All right.
My name is Miki Tsutsui. Tsutsui is very difficult to pronounce, right?
Oh, good.
Tsutsui is tsunami Tsu. Call me Miki. It's easy. Miki. I am an associate professor of Hosei University in Tokyo. Just 2 stations from his, just 10 minutes. Door to door, just 30 minutes. So I'm a sociologist, especially in sociology of education. And actually, I was a bank officer just after graduating from the university. So, but I quit just 3 years.
It's okay then.
I changed my career, and so now that's why I'm here. I started my career as a researcher from I wrote a dissertation on high school, from high school to work. It's a transition of high school students who go into the labor market just after graduation from high school. So then after I spread my perspectives, and now I've been working on partnership as for workforce development. Municipality and the schools and the NPOs and social enterprises, this kind of a partnership. what I've been working on. So now I'm widening perspective also to CBA or community organizing. So that's why I'm here. So today I have many questions.
Okay.
So but time is limited. So
Well, and we have